What about a Pixar-themed shower? And we all come dressed as our favorite Pixar character.
That, and I'll just snowball on top of that. Also, Fight Club. We grease up, we pull in. Lillian doesn't know, so it's surprise. We're gonna fight. We beat the shit out of her.
It's KATRINA Porter?
Hey, Anna Serene.
Welcome to Split Happens.
Yeah, it does.
Wait, what?
For some reason,
Okay, go ahead and get your disclaimer out.
my margarita hit me like just in the right way tonight, but also the wrong way.
I didn't leave the booth, and I was like, uh-oh.
And we literally only have one every time. It never changes.
I know. You know what it is?
What?
We probably should eat some food to go along with it.
Go ahead now and tell everybody what we're doing.
Why we're here?
Yeah.
Every episode, KATRINA and I will talk about a movie that both of us really, really, really love. But only one of us is going to get to defend it, and the other one has to attack it. So today,
I get to defend the hysterical, perfect movie of Bridesmaids.
and I get to take a shit all over this movie like it's a bridal store's sink.
That was off the tippy top of your head?
Yeah.
God, you're amazing.
We do have some rules. Number 1, you don't have to start attacking the movie until we actually start the synopsis. Number 2, if you get the con, if you have to attack, you actually have to attack the movie. You can't give it a love fest. That's the other person's job. And number 3, whoever yells the pro and wants to defend the movie gets it. No cuts, no butts, no coconuts.
That's right.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about 2011 Bridesmaids.
That was 2011?
Yeah, which is crazy for us because we mostly do movies in the 80s that no one under the age of 30's heard of.
Did I start going blank?
Yeah, you're like
Did
2011.
I glaze? Because I started trying to do the math of it, and it was like I overloaded the computer.
It was 11 years ago. And this is a pretty special movie. Do you want to hear a little bit of information about 2011?
You know what? I do.
Okay, cool, because that's what you're here for. So this ended up being the highest grossing female comedy movie of all time.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I don't know what even to compare it to, but I believe it.
You know what it edged out?
9 to 5?
No, what it edged out, and I don't know quite how to feel about this. It edged out Sex and the City, and that's just not a show I could ever get into.
I love all things gay.
I know.
And I love camp.
And shoes.
And Jews?
Shoes. Oh. Jesus Christ. But yes.
Yes to both.
Do you want to hear the top 10 highest grossing movies of 2011?
I'm here.
Might as well, right?
Yeah. Do you mind if I drink my wine and eat some fruit slices while you do that?
Do I ever?
I don't know.
I don't.
You never express it.
Because I would never. I would never, ever keep you from something you love.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, number 1, Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows 2. Number 2, and I didn't see this, so I'm going to crap on something I haven't seen. Transformers Dark Moon, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Christ.
Hangover Part 2.
I mean, I have hangovers.
Pirates of the Caribbean
Which one?
on Stranger Tides. Fast 5.
Oh, God, it's one of the Fast and the Furious.
Right.
No.
Cars 2.
No. God, a lot of sequels this year, yeah?
Yeah. Thor.
The original?
The original.
Oh, I liked the original.
Mm-hmm.
It was the second one that I didn't care for.
Okay, so number 9 is The Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Beat the number 10 movie.
Yeah.
Which is Captain America, the First Avenger.
No.
How is that movie 10? Like, how is Thor and Captain America 8 and 10? Do you want to know what the number 12 highest grossing movie of 2011 was?
You don't have that.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Tell me.
It's Bridesmaids. This was directed by Paul Feig. It was written by Kristin Wiig and Anna Mumolo while she was at SNL. So it took a really long time for this movie to be made because she was kind of distracted with SNL.
Okay.
And Judd Apatow
Yeah.
was like, dig it. I want to do this. And it was kind of the same thing he did with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
He was like, write a movie that you're going to star in. And then Steve Carell did 40-Year-Old Virgin. It was kind of the same thing with Kristen Wiig. She plays Annie. And I don't know if she was named Annie because her co-writer is Anna. I don't know. Maya Rudolph plays Lillian, her best friend. This also has John Hamm, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Chris O'Dowd plays Rhodes.
Yeah.
And Melissa McCarthy, of course, plays Megan.
She's incredible.
Ellie Kemper plays Becca. Wendy McClendon Covey plays Rita, and she's perfect.
Yes.
Like, she is in everything.
I love her.
And I'm assuming life and everything. Okay, so do you need to say anything about this movie?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, boy. I really, really love this movie.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to attack Melissa McCarthy at all in this because I really, really, really love her. I think she's very, very funny. I don't think you can underestimate how good she is in this movie. I love Judd Apatow movies. I love Kristen Wiig. I love all of these people. Rose Byrne, she's really, really great in this.
Oh, gosh, I forgot Rose Byrne. She plays Helen.
Yeah. I mean, I really, really, I absolutely enjoy everybody in this movie. And I'm sorry for what I'm going to say.
You're going to say garbage.
Definitely.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about Bridesmaids.
All right. Let's get into it. Play the fucking song. I'm ready to go.
Let the games begin.
This movie starts with a very awkward and hilarious sex scene. Why are you shaking your head?
This is making me not like John Hamm, and I love John Hamm, but God, he makes it real tough to like him.
Okay, you want a piece of trivia?
Already?
Yeah,
God.
I got it.
Fine.
Okay, so John Hamm is not credited in this movie.
No fucking way.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
That was, he requested that because up until this movie, he had done all serious roles and he didn't want his name being attached to it to distract from what the spirit of the movie was supposed to be. Kristen Wiig looks gorgeous because she is. And this sex scene is hysterical. I mean, it really is. And I love that it's like straight out of the gate. Like that's how the movie opens with this really weird sex scene. So she does the thing that I'm sure none of us have done the next morning.
I've never done a walk of shame.
Not a walk of shame, but where you pretend like you're just waking up.
Oh, that?
But
yeah.
really you had gone to the bathroom already and brushed your teeth and looked cute.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And then so she wakes him up and he devours her face.
Ugh.
And he's like,
This is so awkward. I really want you to leave, but I don't know how to say it without sounding like a dick.
Fucking asshole.
So then Annie meets up with her BFF Lillian, Maya Rudolph, where they're going to do a workout outside. Terry Crews is the person leading the workout.
The one that they're stealing from.
Yeah.
They're stealing from Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Like a top tier human. Like one of the best humans that has ever existed.
It's playful. You can tell that they have playful banter with him.
He didn't look playful at all. Rodney, I think is his character's name. He did not seem, he's like, it's only $12.
They understand.
Bunch of
He
fucking
understands.
freeloaders.
And they run off because clearly they're caught and they go to a coffee scene. And it's one of the things that I love about this movie so much is so much of the dialogue between the friends seems like it would be real dialogue between friends.
Okay, funny you should say that because they go to the right after like doing the workout with Rodney, they go to a diner and they're eating like French fries and shit.
Yeah.
And can I tell you that there was a time when I was like in my early 20s that my friend Lee and we had gone to go like, I might use run in quotes, but like we had gone to go run outside and we were going to do like a 4-mile like walk run thing. And we were so incredibly proud of ourselves. So we treated ourselves.
Wait, let me guess.
For doing that 4-mile like walk run.
Can I guess with what? Cheese sticks from Bosselman's?
No. Cigarettes and McDonald's.
Maya Rudolph was pregnant during the entire filming of this movie.
No way.
With her third child, yeah. So if you...
With her third child?
Yeah, I know, she's gorgeous. But if you know that going into watching it, you can see it. But if you don't, I mean, just like your face right now, you're surprised by it. So they leave the muffin shop, and they're walking around, and they walk by a place that clearly Annie had owned called Cake Baby.
Yeah.
And she's like, who's the dumbass for opening up a bakery during a recession? It's kind of sad. And
Annie is really unlikable through a lot of this movie.
what are you talking about?
Oh, 100%. She is absolutely unlikable through a lot of this. Her selfishness, her insecurities, all of it is she's very, very unlikable. But you just don't notice it because everybody else is so unlikable in their traits that it makes her seem pretty tame in comparison.
The words that are coming, I feel like, what's her name from Clue?
Flames on the side of my face.
That's how you feel?
I'm not going to acknowledge
She
what
probably
you said.
shouldn't work in a jewelry store because she is very hardened by relationships.
Okay.
This is not the job for her.
Okay. Like, she's the first person to be in a job that she shouldn't be in.
Yeah, but she's talking people out of like their wedding rings before they even start. She's clearly projecting. You know who she is? She's Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer. You know, Cindy and Scott are newlyweds. Whoopity-doo.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the title of this movie The Perfect Employee Works at a Jewelry Store? Okay.
Yeah, watching somebody work in a jewelry store that is too immature and clearly not okay with working in a jewelry store felt a little too close to home. Like, that was me.
Like maybe you related too much with that person?
Yeah.
Did you relate to going home and seeing her roommates who are Rebel Wilson and Matt Lucas, and Rebel Wilson is just watching Maury and living her best life with her infected worm tattoo?
She's so funny.
They were roommates at the time.
No way.
Like she and Matt, not Chris, she and Matt Lucas were roommates.
For real?
Uh-huh. So one thing I learned about this movie that made me love it more, which I didn't think was possible, is a lot of it was improv.
I definitely could see that with anything with Rebel Wilson and Matt Lucas.
Not just with them, though. The Bridesmaids, the core group, they spent like 2 weeks together doing improv.
That absolutely makes sense. I bet that's a real, definitely Wendy McClendon Covey. She's really, really good at improv.
Well, but the surprise was Rose Byrne.
Oh, wow. God, she did improv too?
Yeah, no, a lot of her stuff, they were like, she had done a lot of dramatic stuff. She had done Damages. I think that's with Glenn Close. And she'd done some serious stuff, but she was cast in this because of Get Him to the Greek, the movie with, what's his face?
I know
Russell Brand.
Of it?
And Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
I guess she was, I didn't see it, but she was funny in that.
You did.
And she improvs a lot in this, and they were like, she's really good. Annie goes over to Lillian's house, where Lillian shows her that she's engaged.
Yeah.
And
that's when Annie immediately makes it about herself. I remember that. I remember that scene.
She didn't make that about herself.
She 100% immediately starts thinking about how that could possibly affect her. You can see it all over her face. She is absolutely not legitimately happy for her friend. She's happy for her friend in some sense.
I think she just, I think her life is about as
unhappy.
Well, just like there doesn't seem to be a part of her life that is stable, and probably in that moment, the one part of her life that was stable was her friendship with Lillian, and now Lillian is kind of moving on to something else. Even then, like when Annie comes over to hang out with her, Lillian goes and talks to Dougie. But in the moment where she's like, "Oh my God, this is great! I can't believe you're."
Lillian is so wrapped up in her own shit, like every bride is. I'm not like faulting Lillian for being self-involved whenever she's about to get married. A lot of people are like that.
So, cut to engagement party time.
Yeah.
Wendy McClendon Covey, Rita. This character is hysterical. She lives with all males. She does not love it. And she immediately starts talking to Annie. And I don't know if she's ever met Annie before. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But she starts talking about how miserable her life is. And then she's talking about her boys. And she's like,
They're disgusting. They smell, they're sticky, and there is semen all over everything, okay? I cracked a blanket in half.
I'm a little bit ashamed in just how much I see myself in Rita.
next we meet Becca, who's played by Ellie Kemper. She's hysterical. Go back to John Hamm for a second. Do you know what he did before he moved to Hollywood and got famous?
No.
Okay. He taught high school drama in Missouri.
Oh, I bet people were hot for teacher.
Well, guess who was one of his students?
Oh.
Ellie Kemper.
No fucking way.
Yep. She's clearly she's actually exactly like her character on The Office.
I loved her on The Office. I really, really loved her on The Office.
The fact that you're clarifying that means you don't love her in this?
I am not allowed to love her in this. So I loved her in The Office.
Oh, okay, I see. She was hysterical. Melissa McCarthy, we meet, is Megan.
Yeah.
And Megan is the sister of Dougie, who Lillian is engaged to.
Do you know who he's played by?
Dougie?
Yeah.
No.
It's Tim Heidecker. It's insane that he's in this movie.
Okay.
Insane to me.
Why?
Do you not know of Tim and Eric? Awesome show, Tim and Eric?
No.
Fucking crazy, disgusting, hilarious show. Somehow he's completely normal in this, and I don't understand it. How you're gonna have Tim Heidecker? It's like casting Willem Dafoe, and he's just totally normal. Tim Heidecker is crazy in the best possible way. I love him, and he also does music. He has an album, and it's fucking great.
Well, he's pretty boring and nondescript in this.
He is. That's the problem. By the way, I'm going to say a lot of negative things about everybody except for Melissa McCarthy. She's perfection. She is off my radar.
Do you know who she based her character on?
No?
Guy Fieri of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. She wanted to dye her. She wanted to bleach her hair blonde.
Really?
Yeah, but that's like, and when you know that and you watch it, you can see like even her clothes. Kristin Wiig's face when she meets Helen is so many women when they first see a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And Helen comes just like gliding through with perfect L'Oreal hair.
The ridiculous dress that she's wearing.
Her ball gown.
Her ball gown to somebody else's engagement and like party, right?
Yeah, Helen's not a good person.
No, she is absolutely not a good person at all. I struggle to watch a single scene that she was in. It hurt to watch.
Like every scene that she's in, it's clearly about what is best for her.
The one-upping that she and Annie do with each other makes me it makes my soul hurt.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Do you want to know something about that?
I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So the scene that Anna's referring to at the engagement party when Annie gets up to do her toast and then Helen gets up to do a toast and then Annie gets up to do a counter toast, all improv.
Oh, I mean, great. Yeah, great for those actresses. That watching it on screen hurts
It's
to watch.
really
I don't
uncomfortable.
handle that much cringe, and it hurts to watch somebody one up each other that way. Women not supporting women. What?
So you mentioned the Oscars. Which was more uncomfortable? Will Smith versus Chris Rock or this scene?
This scene.
Yeah, I agree.
This scene was 8 hours long.
Okay,
which is unfortunate because this movie is 16 hours long.
This movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
2 hours long. It's over 2 hours long for a rom-com? Seriously?
What would you cut out of this?
There is a bunch that could have been cut out of this. It's a 2-hour movie that is asking a lot of your audience.
Well, apparently not to millions of people who made this the 12th highest grossing movie of 2011. And also the Academy who nominated it for multiple Oscars.
2 hours. Hold on. Okay, continue.
Anna is so fired up by the running time of this, she's diving into the fruit slices. You have to admit, though, during that awkward scene between Annie and Helen, the part where Annie goes, where she basically tries to communicate with her with a look, and she just kind of stares at her.
I don't care how much is improv. I don't care how funny they may or may not be to the general public. Watching that, like people try to one up each other, makes me so uncomfortable, and I hate it, and I stand by it.
You've already said a lot of stupid stuff, and I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
The tirade in the car when Kristin Wiig is leaving the engagement party is all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm Helen. Oh, you live in Milwaukee? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, have you met Lillian? Oh, she's my best friend. Oh, yeah, I know we've only known each other for 5 minutes. Oh.
And I felt so seen in that moment.
100,000,000%. Did she get pulled over right there? Is that when Chris O'Dowd?
That's when she gets pulled over. And also, it made me think, I would never be able to pass a sobriety test because I don't think I could walk in a straight line sober. Certainly not in heels. Okay, so Annie gets pulled over because she has a tail light missing or two. Chris O'Dowd was supposed to have an American accent.
Really?
Yeah, but his accent is so charming that they're like, keep that in.
He is charming.
He is, and he's so sweet that you know immediately she's going to fuck this up because he's a dork and he's sweet and that it's clearly not her kink.
No, it's not. She likes to be used and abused a little bit.
Well, when he realized the bakery she owned and he says,
Cake, baby. You're cake, baby.
How many times have we said that? 1 million? 12 million?
At least.
Cake, baby.
Cake, baby.
I'm going to say it 12,000 times during this. This movie has a kick-ass soundtrack. Fight me, good luck. This movie has a kick-ass soundtrack.
Are you kidding me? It has some of my favorite songs ever.
So speaking of that,
Yeah.
it cut to the scene where Annie's going to her happy place. She's going to bake. Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please. I have a couple things to say about this. Please, go ahead.
The song that's playing during this scene is Paper Bag by Fiona Apple. It's a beautiful song. Fiona Apple dated, at one point, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yes.
Who is married to Maya Rudolph.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, circular. So Annie's making this cupcake, and yes, is it a cupcake singular? Yes. Does that make sense? You know what? Okay, here's why I think it makes sense.
Oh, please. Definitely.
Okay.
Thrill me with your acumen.
Waste not, want not.
Uh-huh.
We have a problem with people having food insecurity in this country, and she's not going to waste a bunch of food that she's clearly not going to eat because she weighs 95 pounds.
What a crock of shit. Did you even believe that when it was coming out of your mouth?
Yes.
Absolutely fucking not. If somebody is a baker, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put on my professional pants.
Hey, I have a request.
Yes.
You remember when I had my criminal justice voice?
Yes.
Can you have a baker voice?
Oh, my baker
Something
voice
that
would be,
sounds like sugar.
I personally know a little something about, this is very southern. Nobody, and I mean nobody, makes one cupcake. That's a ridiculous notion. Nobody absolutely would ever do such a thing. If you were somebody that loves to bake, if you love for people to eat your baked goods and that you would have a bakery, you would absolutely want to bake more than one cupcake. That's selfish. You can't keep your talent inside and only bake for yourself. That would never ever happen. Not never. An elaborate fondant flour? Really? Really? And she even eats it. Can you imagine such a thing? That would not happen. Absolutely not. And
You're more upset about this than Ukraine.
It's compulsive. You can't help it. You know why? Because chefs in their soul, in their being, are narcissists. And you want everybody to constantly heap praise on you. And that comes from cupcakes.
I have never, in your 43 old years, seen you get so fired up about something.
I'm sweating.
You are.
I'm sweating. Okay, you should see me when I was typing. I was furiously typing on my keyboard.
I can't wait to see all the typos in that.
No, there's only like a few. And it's like, one cupcake? One? Question mark, exclamation point.
You just put the caps lock on.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Can you see my page?
No, just assuming. It was a beautiful cupcake.
It was a beautiful cupcake, but also nobody eats fondant. unless they have to.
Oh, you know how I feel about fondant.
Nobody would do a cupcake like that unless they were like practicing their art for some reason, and it's clear that that's not what she wants. She's not trying to practice. Like it's she's been embittered by like her, what she would perceive as a failure. What?
She's unhappy.
You don't solve unhappiness with fondant.
If you could see how Anna eats a cupcake, you would understand, because Anna eats a cupcake in the way that only a practiced lover of sugar can eat. It's perfection.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe. You cut the bottom part in half.
You twist.
And then you put the frosting in the middle and make it like a little cupcake sandwich.
Yeah. You take the bottom and you put it on the top, and then you got little.
And then you squish it.
Cupcake sandwich.
Yeah.
It's perfect. This is ridiculous.
So we get through that scene where Annie's really sad and Anna doesn't care. And Annie agrees to meet up with Helen for partners tennis. And you know who doesn't like Helen also? Besides pretty much everyone that interacts with her?
Her stepkids.
Her stepkids. Like, fuck off, Helen.
Okay, put a quarter in the swear jar. Good to see ya.
But I think she's uncomfortable with herself in general, and that's why she acts like such an asshole. But I could be reading more into the character.
Is Rose Byrne British?
Yes.
Okay.
She's British, and she's married to Bobby Cavanaugh.
Really?
I'm so terrible pronouncing names.
He was fantastic on Boardwalk.
He was great.
God, did I tell you I just watched that again this last year?
Oh.
I think this last year. When I say last year, I mean this, it could be any time in the past 5 years.
I understand. They go and play partners tennis, and Annie is like me at anything remotely competitive.
No shit.
We get through the tennis match and then cue the bridesmaids dress shopping scene.
That's after we see the roommates that she has that are fucking terrible.
No, they're terrible.
Well, yeah, and she's like, it's just more awful people. I love when they were like,
You read my diary?
At first, I did not know that it was your diary. I thought it was a very sad, handwritten book.
It's so funny. And I bet a lot of that was improv.
Probably, yeah.
So they go to a Brazilian churrascaria.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. I love a Brazilian churrascaria.
Funny you should say that. Me too. Go on.
I have in my notes, I love a Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah, they're great. This had to have done so much damage to that particular type of restaurant. The view that they take away from that is that Brazilian steakhouse, and like any place that looks even remotely shoddy in their minds, shabby or whatever, that must be an unsafe place to eat. This movie alone made some eateries go out of business, and some of my favorite restaurants look like they should be shut down.
Okay. The owner of Texas Day Brazil is a billionaire.
Probably from something else.
No, from his Brazilian steakhouse.
Well, thank God this movie didn't completely crash him like it probably did other Brazilian steakhouses.
It did not.
It probably did.
But when Melissa McCarthy says, physically, I don't bloat, it's a gift. So they start talking about the bachelorette party, and I love so much that Megan's contribution is a Fight Club themed bachelorette
Throw
party.
this out there.
Fight Club.
We just beat the shit out of her.
It's just so funny. So back to the tennis scene.
Yeah.
You mentioned that one of the people, Helen's partner, is Nancy Carell.
Yes.
Who's Steve Carell's wife.
Yeah.
She was in The Office.
Yeah.
Andy Buckley, who plays Helen's husband.
Yeah.
He's in The Office.
Yeah.
As Michael's boss.
Yeah. He was David Wallace.
David Wallace.
Yeah. Suck it.
Yes. Ellie Kemper was in The Office.
Yeah. There's a few people.
Paul Feig was in The Office.
Yeah.
The director.
I saw the security guard, Hank, was there.
Yes, security guard Hank. He was, his name is Hugh Dane, I think. And he was the one when at the engagement party that Megan was like, is that your fella? And Annie's like, no. And she goes, well, I'm going to climb him like a tree.
Right.
That's the security guard.
There's a lot of office people in this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's my criticism of this movie I love for Lillian. Lillian should have really reined in the bridesmaid dress shopping. Because that's the responsibility of the bride to be like, no, you're not going to pay $800 for a dress.
Right. Also, I don't understand why they ended up at a place where you have to be buzzed in and be by appointment only, and yet somehow Annie was shocked that the prices were high. It's like, of course they're high. How could you possibly be surprised? What did you think this was going to be?
I think she's just kind of clueless. I don't think she thinks that stuff through. So Judd Apatow in particular really pushed for physical comedy.
Okay.
And Kristin Wiig and Anna Mumolo did not want physical comedy.
Really?
They wanted it to be kind of subtle. They wanted the comedy to be about the relationship between these women. It shouldn't come to a surprise to anyone. Who do you think pushed the vomit poop scene?
Melissa McCarthy?
No, Judd Apatow.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that whole scene was orchestrated by them. That wasn't Kristin Wiig's idea.
Yeah, it's a lot of toilet humor. And I guess some people are into that sort of thing.
You love toilet humor.
I know. I'm
Your
okay
face
with
is a
it. But
toilet.
not everybody's into that sort of thing, and it feels a little cheap, which is fine because I'm cheap.
They go through this horrible experience, bridesmaid dress shopping. Annie sees Rhodes again, the cop, Chris O'Dowd, at the little mini mart or whatever.
Gas station,
yeah. Gas station, yeah. And I love this scene so much because when I was in undergraduate school, one of my focuses was criminal justice. And I got to do a ride-along as part of like shadowing.
That.
Yeah, that is cool. Like I got to ride in the cop car. I got to be in the car when they're chasing after somebody. I mean, it's pretty fun for a white person. So cue the bachelorette party. Annie was really trying.
Whoa.
What?
You mean like, I think you're really skipping over where Annie is with the cop and he's letting her do like the, cop speed trap thing and then get in the car? That's wildly inappropriate.
Yeah, he loves her. You can tell he loves her already. Once they show her a good time.
So that he can break ethics? It's not okay for her to be using the speed gun and to hop in the cop car and go pull somebody over. She's a civilian. What happens if the person that they were pulling over was had like a weapon or like? I mean, there's
silly. He was just He was on his morning commute.
They're supposed to assume every person that they pull over could have a weapon. That's what I've heard.
Okay, Debbie Downer. Annie's trying to organize the bachelorette party. She wants to go to this cabin Lillian's family owns. It's a really sweet idea. Again, it's something personal about her relationship with Lillian. Mm-hmm. And Helen, being the jealous bitch she is, completely monopolizes the whole situation and convinces everybody to do Vegas. The whole idea behind what actually happens with the Vegas scene was way different than what ended up in the movie. Originally, they get to Vegas and there was a whole situation there, but the Hangover movie
I was supposed to say, it sounds like a Hangover.
Yeah, the Hangover movie had come out. And they're like, there's no point in us doing this. So like, what else would be funny? And somebody said, well, what if they never actually made it to Vegas? And that's how the airplane scene came to fruition.
It's clever.
The airplane scene, I mean, you are a very anxious flyer. Very anxious flyer.
That's a very nice way of putting it.
Yeah, it's not your fault. It's your whacked out brain.
I make the flight attendants nervous.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm white knuckling the
And you have your head wrapped in like four scarves and your headphones on and your bag of jelly beans and Butterfingers.
Nobody fucking talk to me. It's 5:00 in the morning. I'm eating jelly beans. I've got my music.
Got your scarf.
This is me in this moment.
Mm-hmm. The woman that's sitting next to Annie on the plane.
Yeah.
That is Anna Momolo.
Oh, Oh, really?
The co-writer of this movie.
I wondered if it was somebody significant.
Yeah.
She was funny.
She was 8 months pregnant through a lot of this movie, and she was there all the time.
She was 8 months pregnant sitting there?
She was doing rewrites and all that stuff.
Oh, my.
This is the scene where we meet Ben Falcone, who plays Air Marshal John, who's actually Melissa McCarthy's husband in real life.
I want to ask you this.
Okay.
If you were like flying with a whole group of friends, and every single person in their group was flying in first class, and one person was flying in coach, would you be okay with that?
No. I'm not an asshole, though. Helen's an asshole.
There's what, 3 other friends? There's 3 other friends?
Maybe Annie was too proud and was just like, no, I'll be in coach. I'm fine.
I think if they would have insisted on it, they're like, we all want to be together, and it is not okay for you to be back there if we're all up here. If everybody would have insisted on it, I guarantee Annie would have been okay with it. I know, because I am Annie. It is not okay to leave one person in coach while everybody else sits in first class. That is fucking horrible.
It is, but it also set up the scene so perfectly.
Sure.
Like, there couldn't have been the moments on that plane the way they ended up happening if she wasn't. Do you know Melissa McCarthy was a member of the Groundlings?
Was she really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you distracting me away from these people being bad friends?
No, they're not bad friends.
What about when Helen gets her booze?
Every scene with Becca and Rita on the airplane is so hysterical. Rita's like, that's why you have to have those slutty years. And that reminds me of me overhearing our friend Nicole talking to Jared in our kitchen when Jared was, 20? No, she's like, you got to knock out some hood rats.
Oh, that's
and I was
right.
like, what? So every time I hear that scene, slutty, you gotta have your slutty years, I think of Nicole telling Jared to knock out some hood rats. And I was not happy. I don't know if you picked up on this or not, but the part where Becca asks for a drink, she says, can I have a glass of alcohol?
Yeah.
It's almost identical to the episode of The Office, the Christmas Wishes.
Yep. You're right.
Where she says, I would like another alcohol. Oh my God. And then that scene also has one of the most iconic lines for us that we say 1,000,000 times a year.
We're going to a restaurant tonight. I know the owner, so it's just
You
having...
do? Oh, you do?
Yeah, the thing I was confused by, and I get that everything happens in this movie to build on the next thing, is that clearly Annie is the bad guy about the plane, getting diverted and all this stuff. I didn't understand why Lillian wasn't at least a little pissed at Helen for giving her the pills and the scotch.
Thank you. Helen 100% knew that that's what could happen.
Yeah, she's an asshole, dude.
She's an asshole, but like... all of the blame gets shifted onto Annie. I would be furious if somebody gave somebody really, really close to me like a whole bunch of pills and then booze on top of it and be like, I can't believe you acted poorly. It's like, of course.
I know, but Lillian is just very self-involved. I think she's caught up in the whole...
Agreed.
She's getting married. There's a whole show about bridezillas.
Yeah, so that definitely gives them carte blanche to act like pieces of shit.
No, excuses are reasons are not always excuses.
You know what I'm most upset about with this scene?
What?
This movie's only fucking halfway done.
Oh, Annie, she stumbles upon a mercy lay. She sees Rhodes. Mm-hmm. He is already the most supportive person in her life.
Sort of.
What's wrong? Okay, okay. Yes. Is he perfect? No. But if you notice, there are 2 sex scenes in the movie between her and John Hamm.
Yes. And
one with her and Rhodes.
Yeah.
And this was done intentionally. Both of the sex scenes with John Hamm, her bra is on. And it's not in the episode or the scene with Rhodes because she's vulnerable with John Hamm. She doesn't feel comfortable with him. So she has to have a little bit of a barrier. Whereas with Rhodes, she's just comfortable. I know. Sweet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's a guy and because he's a straight male, I should say, because he's a straight male, He thinks that the thing to get her out of her funk is to have her cook.
There's nothing better I like after post-sex is for somebody to go, hey, I bet you're nice and relaxed, aren't you, sweetheart? You know what I bet you'd like to do? Work. Do that one thing that's kind of a triggering thing for your anxiety and sadness. Work.
But
a woman doesn't always want to do what you want them to do. And part of that is working, doing something that they consider to be work. Even if you think that they're really, really good at it, you've got to listen to not even cues, just direct her going, I don't want that. And he just ignores it and steamrolls it and then gets super pissed. And like the rest of the movie, she's at fault for it, for him refusing to listen to her saying, I don't want to do this.
No, because in that scene, he clearly misses the mark. And then he's like, he tries to back. He's like, okay. He's not insistent on it after she's clearly upset. And then she does really...
He pushed a bunch. He did. She had already said, I don't want to do that anymore. And then he went out and bought a whole bunch of ingredients. And then guess what? Surprise! Get to work. And then she's like, no, I don't want this. And he's like, no, come on, you can do this. No, I don't want it. But you're so good at it. It's that keep pushing. She's saying, no.
She gets home from this situation with Rhodes, and there's an invite from Helen for
the butterfly.
For Lillian's bridal shower. And she's ripped off Annie's idea and has clearly thrown this over-the-top Parisian bridal shower.
Mean.
And so from there, Annie goes into work. And that doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene with the teenager where she's going in to get a bracelet for her best friend?
Yeah, BFF, Best Friends Forever. I do recall. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who that teenager is?
The BFF girl?
Uh-huh.
No.
Peter Frampton's daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
For real. Annie gets fired and she gets kicked out of her apartment. It sets up the scene for her to have the most horrific meltdown at Lillian's bridal shower.
Yeah, she's a little reactive.
You really do identify with Annie, don't you?
You mean the one that worked at a jewelry store and she's a baker and she's insecure and reactive? Why would I identify with that?
Oh,
I hate this movie. I hate that this movie has put such a shining light. I'm like, I'm fucking on screen. God damn it.
Damn it, Judd Apatow and Kristin Wiig.
I don't like this. I don't feel good about this.
Although, how many times have we said the scene where she's driving up to the house and they stop and give her the lemonade? It's like, oh shit, this is refreshing. Annie gives Lillian this super thoughtful gift. And then Helen, because she cannot handle anyone getting more attention than her, surprises Lillian with a trip to Paris, where Lillian has always wanted to go.
Right.
And instead of grabbing a glass of wine, or 4 like I would have done, stuffing her feelings until it boiled out later,
she did what Anna would do.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Annie?
No, Mom. Motherfucking Paris?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have torn up the cakes and stuff. I wouldn't have torn
No,
up the
you would
other
have been
stuff.
respectful to the pastries. I mean, you're not a monster.
No, I would have gone and I would have reacted and then I would have gone in a room and cried.
Right. With the cookie cake and the wine.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a normal person.
Yeah. And then you would have been over it. Annie loses it. She loses it. It's been building up the whole movie. She gets hit by a car. Her car dies.
We should mention at this shower, Helen is giving out puppies as gifts.
Yeah, they were probably rescue puppies and she was giving them a home.
Wouldn't you want to screen people before finding out if they were going to be taken care, if they were capable of taking care of a puppy?
Megan gets 8 of them, so
9.
9.
She takes 9.
Annie leaves the bridal shower. Someone hits her car. She unfortunately has to call Ted, who's John Hamm, and he drives up and he says,
Boom! What's up, fuck buddy?
It's terrible, but he's just he is great in this. He really is.
He is very good at playing an asshole, yeah.
And people have made parallels between this to the scene in Clueless when Cher gets upset with the guy and gets out of the car is walking. Yeah. She's wearing a red dress, very similar to this scene.
Okay, and he just takes off.
Right, and he just takes off.
Oh, I know who that was. That was Elton.
Right. Yeah, Elton. Yeah, so I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but people have made parallels to that.
Is this when she goes and she's with her living in her mom's house, and then she's watching Castaway, and they show the one scene in Castaway that rips your fucking heart out. How are they going to show the Wilson scene from Castaway? These goddamn monsters.
Because when you are depressed, you want to watch a Tom Hanks movie. And you watch whatever's closest.
The Wilson scene from Castaway?
You know what?
Are you trying to walk into the ocean?
No, but maybe you're like, at least I'm not lost in the ocean. I just lost my fake friend. Life could be worse.
You know what? I bet you're a really good therapist. I don't mean that sarcastically.
You got to reframe things.
You're really good at turning this around. It's fucking annoying.
Megan is the best and scariest motivational speaker ever. She shows up to Annie with her 27 dogs, and it's a really sweet scene.
Is that sweet? When she's kicking Annie, when Annie literally has nobody to talk to about these things that are difficult in her life. She has no one to talk about her problems, and then when she tries to talk to one person about it, she's told she's having a pity party. She has feelings, and she has nobody to express that to. That's not okay. You know better than anybody that people need to be able to have an outlet to be able to express that they have feelings that are hurting them inside.
Anna Serene, you need to pick a lane. Is Annie the victim or the villain in this movie?
God damn it.
You have cast her as both.
This is hard.
It's funny. I mean, it's just it's whatever it is, it motivates Annie. Then we get a montage, which every movie needs a montage.
Of her baking.
Of her
just a montage of me, my ass twitching for 2 minutes straight.
Helen shows up and she is apologizing, and she's really good at manipulating people. Helen's like, we can't find Lillian. Annie's a really good friend, so she goes to Rhodes. She's trying to get him to help, and he won't engage, and she's just doing all this stuff.
I'm drinking, glug, glug, glug.
Right, littering. And then she's driving by without her shirt on.
I'm topless. Look, and she really was.
She was. And then Rose Byrne is so good. She's so funny in this. But in this scene, she's clearly uncomfortable being the accomplice here. But she's sort of stuck.
Why is he being so insistent on how she's at fault in this? But he absolutely it's like he refuses to take any ownership.
She stormed out of of his place and didn't talk to him.
She was upset
until she was
because he was trying to push her into something and it made her uncomfortable. I mean, he kept pushing.
So, okay, let's put a pin in this because I want to talk about this after you can't shit on this movie.
Oh fuck! Oh no! I don't mean any of this.
So she eventually gets Rhodes to help. He finds that Lillian is in all places her own apartment, to where Annie goes and finds her.
Yeah.
And they make up, of course. And then Annie sees Lillian in her wedding dress, which shows you that Helen is really not a good friend, because nobody that loves Lillian would have ever allowed her to get in that. But Annie and Lillian, they make up. Annie gets her to the wedding. Guess who shows up? Wilson Phillips. To sing Hold On. I mean, it ends. I love the way the movie ends. And it ends and you see Megan as Dougie and Lillian are driving off. Megan, Melissa McCarthy, is just laughing hysterically. And Annie's like, what are you laughing about? And she's like,
I put a loaded gun in Dougie's carry-on. The TSA is going to just rip his ass apart. Oh.
And she's so tickled. I mean, it is so... Rhodes shows up.
Yes.
And happily ever after.
Am I done?
Yeah, it was tough, wasn't it?
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm so glad to be done.
Do you... Okay, so can I... Seriously. Do you...
My head hurts.
That's probably from all the sugar. I really legitimately think that Annie overreacted with the whole situation with Rhodes. Yes, it was dumb for him to do that, but is that like relationship ending?
I think this is a brand new relationship.
Right.
So she was just starting to like make herself vulnerable, as we talked about. She was just kind of getting to that point where she could be because she dates pricks.
I think like a lot of men, he just gets tunnel vision. He got tunnel vision and wanted to fix the situation, and he knows what she's good at.
Yep.
And so in his mind, he puts those things together, and this is a solution. And it was a terrible solution.
And she's saying, I'm not looking for you to offer a solution right now.
Right.
I'm
Well, I want you to listen. Can you think of a character in a movie that you've identified more with?
No. Well, not every bit of it. I don't have, like, I like to think I'm a little more loyal to Friends.
You are.
Like, what?
Anna, thy name is loyal.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000,000%. Have you ever liked anyone that you love, their partner? You look uncomfortable even when I say those words. You're like, absolutely not. Well, let's hear what the people think.
Okay, well, obviously we know how I feel about it.
And how I feel about it.
About this movie.
Love it.
Yeah. You can tell us how you feel on Split Happens Pod on all of the socials and splithappenspod.com.
Speaking of the socials, on Tuesdays, if you check out our Facebook page and if you check out our Instagram, we put the chapter titles for the movie that we've done that we're releasing the next day. And if you can guess what it is, we will send you the episode early. It is fun.
You'll feel special.
Yeah, it's special. And we've had some people kind of getting into it, so it's been fun. So check it out.
This was fun.
It's always fun.
I'm almost done with my booze and also my water.
And your fruit slices.
Fuck. All right, bye, Katrina.
Bye, everybody.